welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, I'm Natalie, and in this channel I share my financial journey with all of you. So I am finally back to filming and kind of getting caught up on this end of things. Though I have been working really hard to finally edit. I am making headway there, but then I got behind on this. So it is towards the end of May now, but I really haven't looked at my finances at all. And we're gonna see how we did with the first paycheck of the month, where I not only transferred the remaining balance from my NC Move savings, but also spent a lot of money because I went to Florida and had a lot of pre-planned expenses, but also had a lot of other ones that I wasn't expecting. So that's a little spoiler for probably Paycheck 2 actually, but we're gonna see how we did with this paycheck, and then yeah, I'm excited to see how much I can actually send to my car loan. So if you want to see how I did this paycheck, please keep watching. So if you saw the previous video for the setup of this paycheck, you know that I am finally able to move over the money that I had remaining from my North Carolina savings. So my paycheck is a lot higher than expected, of course, but I'm excited to be able to tackle my car loan. So as expected, nothing really changed here, so I'm going to fill this out really quickly so we can go over this, and that stayed the same. So my income that I'm working with for this paycheck, of course, is $7,867.20, and that is with that extra money from my savings. So with fixed expenses, none of these changed.
Of course, since I already knew the full amount, so that stayed the same. And my rent, worked out, my HOA, my iCloud, and my student loans. So again, this is not surprising.
And moving on to variable expenses, this is actually where things are gonna get very interesting. So for groceries, I actually ended up spending less than I expected, which was great. I ended up spending $41.68, and I think most of this was actually once I was in Florida, because I was very conscious of trying to eat up everything that I had in my fridge before my friend actually visited me for the few days that she was here. I only kept the essentials, and then of course, because she was here, we were eating out quite a bit so that she could try things around the city. For gas, this was about what I expected, specifically because of course my friend did share gas costs with me while she was here and while we drove down, because she did fly up to visit me, but then we just took the road trip down together. So we kind of took turns to fill up my gas tank. So I ended up, instead of $185, I ended up spending $100.32. Then for household, I didn't have that many things that I needed to purchase. I think I went to the dollar store at some point before my friend got here. For household, I had $50. I actually ended up spending $6.70, and that was just, like I said, at the dollar store. Then for shopping, I budgeted $150, and I actually did go over quite a bit. And I ended up going over by almost 200, or yeah, like $150. So I ended up spending $308.58. For eating out, I underestimated the amount of times I was gonna go out to eat and drink, and just overall like going to the places that I love in Florida. So I definitely miscalculated. I thought I was going to see friends maybe once while I was there the week and a half that I did, but it turned out that I did see several of my friends multiple times. So for eating out, I ended up spending $412 with 92 cents, which is not great. And please keep in mind that this paycheck ends on the 15th, 14th of May. I didn't get to Florida until the 11th. So this is definitely a preview of paycheck number 2 as well. So we're not doing good with variable expenses this month. That's just what it is. For beauty, I budgeted $25 and I ended up spending $460 with 63 cents. I did get a facial and I had budgeted for part of it, but as I was speaking with my esthetician, she recommended some products that I was repurchasing, and then she also recommended some masks that I can do every week, at least once or twice a week. However, she didn't tell me how much those were before I said, yeah, just add it to my bag. So that was $150 on its own. So I didn't put it back just because I know I'm not gonna get facials regularly over here because I haven't found anyone, and I do want to make sure that I continue to keep up with my skin. So that was my reasoning. So that was for beauty. And then for clothing, I also went over, and that was $310 with 82 cents. The 308 is from a concert ticket that I got last minute for Bad Bunny here in Charlotte, and I also got all of the items for my nails. The nail needs for me to be able to do hard gel was like $120 total with everything, give or take, maybe a little bit more, and then the rest was the ticket, so it was like $135. I confused these two. So then clothing was $310, and that was a combination of everything. I got 2 pairs of jeans at American Eagle. I got some stuff from Old Navy. I got some items for the concert that I was going to for Bad Bunny in Orlando. However, I am returning several items, so at some point I'm gonna get some of this money back, but that hasn't happened yet, so I'm just gonna go with what I actually spent. So that was $310 in clothing. And then for sinking funds, as I've been terrible the last several months, really, what I'm doing with the sinking funds, instead of allocating money and just transferring that, is basically what I'm doing is I'm cash flowing everything that would be a sinking fund category, like vet appointments for my dog, medical appointments for myself, things like that. And whatever I spend in the paycheck or the month is what I write here. So technically I was aiming for about $350 each month to be saved for these, but it's not happening. I've always been terrible at it. If you've seen my previous videos, you know that. So for sinking funds, I actually ended up spending $80.27 in this paycheck. The $80.27 was pretty much just for my dog's grooming. And then for unbudgeted, in this paycheck, I didn't have any transactions, so that's great. So let's take a quick look at the difference here. So 100 minus 41.68, that's positive 58.32. 185 minus $100.32, that's positive 84.68. 50 minus 670 is positive 43.30. And this is where things get interesting. So 150 minus 308.50, oh, not 53, 58. 150 minus 308.58, that is negative 158.58. Then for eating out, wow, we have 312 in the negative. For beauty, we have 460, 63. So that's negative 435, 63. Then for clothing, I have 210.82. And then for sinking funds, I budgeted 200, but I spent 80.27, so that's positive 119.73. And nothing for unbudgeted. So my total variable expenses are over 1,000 for sure. So 41.68 plus 132 plus 670 plus 308.58 plus 412.92 plus 460.63 plus 310.82 plus 80.27. That's 1,721 with 92 cents. So that is a difference of negative 811 with 92. So that's what I am over budget on. So let's do the breakdown of what I actually spent so far. So 7,867 is what I had as an income with my savings included, minus the fixed expenses, so that's 2,206 with 89, minus the variable expenses, so that's 1,721 with 92. That leaves me with a little bit over $3,900, well, almost $3,950. And I did do my oil change, so I'm gonna go with that first, and that was $58.45, which is great because that means I was under by like $1 something. Then my brakes, I actually didn't do that in this paycheck, so I'm gonna like ignore that for now. And let's see how much money we have, because I think I allocated 600. Yeah, I allocated 600 and like kind of acted like this wasn't in this paycheck and like moved it to my second one. So let's deduct the 58.45 minus the 600. That means that I am able to send 3,200 to my car, which is not what I was aiming for, but you know, that's fine. So I am unable to pay that extra $550 towards my car loan in this paycheck. So then here it was under by $50, and then we're just omitting this completely. And 60 minus 58.45 is 155, positive 155. So when I take 2,206.89 plus 1,721.92 plus 3,200 plus 58.45 plus 600, that means that I spent a total of 7,787 with 26 cents minus 7,867.20. That gives me a rollover of $79.94. So this is what my expenses looked like for the first half of the month. As I said, I definitely went overboard. I knew that this was going to be a spending month. I just didn't know how much. And I had allocated some money on the side, but you know, things happen and that's okay. Thankfully, I did have the money, and I think as long as I still managed to send a good portion of my income to my goals, it's okay if I'm like a few $100s short, or I move them somewhere else. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna be recording the paycheck number 2 setup right after this, so you're gonna see kind of the same thing back to back. But let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.